It was springtime on the island of Sodor, and all the engines were hard at work making the island look presentable for the best dressed station competition, including Olmsted Castle. Bloomer was helping out with flowers. Flowers were what made the stations look more bright and colourful. She adored the flowers. They reminded her of herself in her younger days, when the railway was only a small portion of what it is today. Bloomer was also very knowledgeable of them as well, and many of the other engines at Olmsted found it fitting for an engine of the name Bloomer.
Buttercups symbolize lightness and joy, she'd say. Daffodils represent rebirth and new beginnings.
I never knew flowers had a philosophical meaning to them, laughed Milly.
Everything means something, such as the spills that occur on this railway,
replied Bloomer. Really? Do tell us how a flower represents an engine's misfortune, chuckled Stephen.
You may think they're silly now, but when into the hour of need, you'll be laughing at me then, won't you?
Said Bloomer. The others decided to say nothing and went back to work. Later, the Earl had received a phone call from Knapford station. Immediately he went looking for Bloomer. She had many trucks full of colourful young flowers, and was helping the workmen with the final adjustments. "Ah, Bloomer! Just the engine I was looking for!" boomed the Earl.
"Oh, sir, I didn't see you there. I was busy working with the workmen with the final preparations. Doesn't it look marvellous? We're sure to win first place," said Bloomer.
"Yes, indeed. I've just received word that Knapford has had a shortage of flowers. I've agreed to lend them some of our own. Since you're the flower expert, I thought it only proper to choose you to deliver them there."
"Oh, yes, sir. Lovely. I won't let you down, sir."
"Splendid! I knew I could count on you. Now where did I leave that souvenir I brought from Italy?" said the Earl as he walked back to his office. When Bloomer was ready to leave, she saw Emily pull into the station with her passenger train. She didn't look very happy.
"Hello, Emily,"
peeped Bloomer.
"Oh, hello, Bloomer,"
muttered Emily.
"What's the matter?"
asked Bloomer.
"Because of a cow on the line, I was late with my passenger train. Now Caitlin's sure to laugh at me,"
grumbled Emily. Bloomer didn't like seeing Emily cross. She was thinking of a way to cheer her up, when suddenly she looked back at the trucks full of flowers. She eyed the Protea.
"No, she won't. Not after we spruce you up a bit,"
said Bloomer.
"What do you mean?"
asked Emily.
"Why don't you take some of these flowers? I'm sure the Earl won't mind if I borrow some of these. You'll look grand with these covering you. Caitlin will be so impressed with you that she won't even think of the time of your arrival,"
puffed Bloomer. Emily stared at the flowers.
"Well, they do look nice. Why not?"
said Emily. Her driver and fireman got to work, and soon she was covered from funnel to tender in floral embroidery. Emily was impressed.
"I look amazing. Thank you, Bloomer,"
chuffed Emily. Bloomer was pleased, and she left the station. When she stopped at Harwick, she saw Daisy, who didn't look very happy either.
"What's wrong?"
asked Bloomer.
"A milk train! A milk train!"
fumed Daisy.
The shame of it! The shame of it! Don't be so cross, you'll overheat, advised Bloomer. But it's not fair! Ryan gets to pull passengers, and I'm stuck with a filthy milk train. My fitter won't like this, continued Daisy.
Just when Bloomer was about to reply, she remembered what happened with Emily.
Take some of these flowers. I'm sure you'll feel much better with them covering you, said Bloomer. What will silly flowers do to cheer me up? Asked Daisy. They'll make you feel more elegant. Elegant? We shall see.
The crew had got to work, and when they were finished, Daisy was speechless.
Daisies do suit you, Daisy. Loyal and cheerful, chuckled Bloomer. I do like the sound of that. Toodaloo, dearie, and thank you for the flowers. They do work wonders, said Daisy as she scuttled away with her milk train. That's 2 people I've made happy today, thought Bloomer. Oh, the wonders a simple flower can bring.
Then she set off again. Later she came across Molly, who was sitting in her shed. She looked very sad. Bloomer puffed up to see what the matter was.
I don't think I look special at all. I don't look as grand as Spencer or as elegant as Emily, she puffed sadly.
Bloomer knew just what to do.
Maybe these flowers will make you feel better. Sunflowers symbolize dedication and happiness. You remind me of them sometimes, said Bloomer.
Molly blushed. Soon she was grinning from ear to ear as she was decorated in bright, colourful sunflowers.
Thank you, Bloomer. You brighten up anyone's day, said Molly as she puffed out the sheds to show the other engines.
This made Bloomer so happy she began to give flowers to each engine she met. She met Henry, who wasn't feeling so well, and gave him some daffodils to make him feel better. She gave some roses to James, and even gave some flowers to the Diesels at the diesel works.
They surely brighten up the place, said Bloomer.
Thank you, oiled Diesel 10. It's nice to be treated equally for once. Had she not been so busy trying to please everyone, she would have remembered where the flowers were meant to be going. When she finally reached Knapford, the Fat Controller was waiting for her. "Bloomer, where have you been? The flowers should have been here hours ago."
Don't worry, I'm here now when I have the flowers ready to decorate,
panted Bloomer. "Then why are your trucks empty?" boomed the Fat Controller. Bloomer looked back and was shocked. The Fat Controller was right. Nothing was left, not a single pedal. Bloomer felt very ashamed. "It seems your generosity has gotten the better of you, Bloomer. The flowers were meant for the station, not the engines. The judge is already here judging the stations, and ours will surely end up in last place," scolded the Fat Controller. Bloomer felt terrible. She had made everyone else happy but the Fat Controller. When she let the Fat Controller down, she felt she had let everyone down. Meanwhile, the judge had arrived on Thomas to Knapford station. He looked around and began writing in his notebook. When he was finished surveying the railway, the Fat Controller gathered all the engines at Knapford to hear who won. Bloomer, however, felt very sad and didn't care. She just stared at her buffers in shame for what she had done. Then the judge began his speech. "Today I will be awarding this prize to none of these stations," he announced. The engines and even the Fat Controller were shocked. "Instead, I'll be awarding it to the entire railway. The engines were so colourful and bright that I just couldn't keep my eyes off of them. Your railway is definitely a wonderful place to be. finished the judge. "Thank you so much," said the fat controller, who then turned to Bloomer. "Bloomer, if it weren't for your bright idea, we wouldn't have won this prize, and for that I gift it to you for your generosity and knowledge," he said as he placed it on a footplate. Bloomer couldn't have felt prouder.